All right.
Welcome to Almost Functional Gaming. We aim to help all followers of Russ and the Allfather to improve on the tabletop. List building, tournament recaps, unit reviews, weekly council of the Fang, and other tips to help us all go from almost functional to fully functional. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional score tracker on Amazon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. Back again with another special interview. We got Hunter on tonight, and as always, we got Aiden here with me.
Welcome, Hunter. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being on. We heard you did pretty well with Wolves this past weekend. We're really excited to talk to you.
Yeah, had a lot of fun with Wolves. I've been running with them past few GTs, and finally got the solo win with them through a gauntlet at Moptown. They were no easy games.
Wow.
See, Aiden, Hunter wins GTs with Wolves and not Raven Guard.
Well, Hunter is so good with Wolves. He got a saga named after him. So
That is true.
It is funny though when we talk about the list. I had a few people like, "How'd you make Saga the Hunter win?" I was like, "No, my name is Hunter."
Yes.
Not
so tell us about your history with Wolves. How'd you get into them?
So I played when I got into 40K, probably back in high school. The local store owner had a Space Wolves army, would let me borrow them as a high school kid, and I took some time off after college. And when I moved back to where I'm at now, I just wanted to get back into 40K because I really enjoyed it when I was in high school, and I played Wolves then, and kind of came back now. And I was like, man, I just want to be a space, be back. That was what I always liked, was the lore, the Space Vikings, and just all the cool stuff you could do throughout all the old editions. Came back into it and just really sunk my teeth into the competitive landscape of it. Always been really competitive, and got back probably around like COVID, like 2019, 2020. I think 2019 is when I kind of really got back into 40K and had a few good years of it. Got best Space Wolves in the 21 season.
Wow. Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That was a lot of fun. Me and Heidi Paris were kind of going neck and neck for it that year, and It was decided at LVO, and I just kind of stayed with them, since. I really enjoy the game, and really that's my first love is Wolves. You can see I've got a few armies behind me of other stuff that I do enjoy playing, but I always kind of find my go-to is the Wolves.
That's awesome.
Right. So you came in around COVID. So it was beginning of 8th edition. Did you get to play with the Index Wolves?
I get my editions mixed up a lot. So beginning of 8th, I think when I was coming in, I remember Ragnar was kind of coming to be a thing, and we had a really cool what were they called? They weren't indexes. It was like he had his own detachment, was what we would call it now.
Oh, the formations.
Formation. He got his own thing, and then COVID happened, so we never got to use it. And then the 9th edition happened, I think, and didn't get to play that at all. It was like the wasted edition.
Yeah, because right around COVID, we had the Index, which was when Wolves were the strongest I think they've been in a long time. Like, I was winning a lot local stuff, but there was no big events going on because of COVID. Like, that's when Ragnar had like the Saga of the Wild, where he like exploded on 4s, and like all.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Wolfen were unkillable. Like Wolfen, they had the 3-up invul. They had the Feel No Pain. They had the double fight on death. They had the advance and charge. Like that was like my favorite version of Wolves.
Yeah, that was great. We didn't get Oath though, which was kind of funny because everyone else got Oath.
We didn't need it. They killed everything.
Wow. The Wolves were great then.
Yeah.
You had little solo characters that Catwoman jump pack that would kill anything, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, so you mentioned that time period. I was like, man, that was my favorite time to play Wolves.
Back in the good old days, and toward the end of last edition, we got free Kami Meltas and Lightning Claws on our Vanguard, on our Wolf Guard with jump pack. Great.
Oh man, even before then, there was like free Battle Company, free like transports and war gear and everything. That was nuts. I think that was 7th edition, so don't quote me.
I think that was 7th. The free war gear was like the end of last edition, so everyone was slapping Kami Meltas or Kami Plasmas and Lightning Claws on their Wolf Guard and Thunder Hammers and throwing them at people.
Yep.
That one was fun.
That's awesome. Well, cool, man. What event did you go to this past weekend?
So I went to Mobtown Mayhem. That was in Mobile. It was a great event. I think it's what do they call it? Green Banner is the new kind of chain of events, and the TO, the environment, everything was great. Big
Awesome.
store, and it was just a gauntlet. I mean, there was just everyone there was like, you think like round one, like, okay, I get a warm up game. There was no warm up game. It was the scores. Every game that had the scores don't dictate how the games went. It was like the last turn and a half when it sped away.
That can happen. So yeah, Daniel Herbert runs that, right?
Yes, awesome. Did a great job.
Yeah, great guy.
Looking to get them to expand and keep going.
Cool.
So,
All right, so you wanna go ahead and bring up this list that you ran?
absolutely, let's dig into it.
All right, so you got a fast wolf. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's a play on words for the song. You got a fast car, but
Oh, I got you.
but yeah, it's Stormlance. So every Space Wolf player's favorite attachment, because we need advance and charge.
Mm-hmm.
Starts with Arjac. You know him, you love him. You windmill slam. I feel like the four characters you see now, Arjac, Bjorn, the Lieutenant of Combi, and Logan Grimnard, whenever I make a list, just windmill slam those first.
Yeah.
Amazing units. Yep.
Yep, they buff, they do what you need. We need CP. The Combi Lieutenant's Chad. Logan, he's great. Love him. So, I run him solo in this detachment. We'll I know as we go down, it's kind of funny. Out of the four things you got there, I think Arjac's the one that does the most damage to people.
On the big stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is probably the damage in the list for the most part.
Yeah.
But he's great. I really like him, and in my block of 10 Terminators, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
Underneath, as we keep going down, the MVP of the weekend, the thing everyone's been asking me about, Murder Fang.
Murder Fang. Insane.
Yes.
Murder Fang's awesome. In Stormlance, he is just everything that you want. He doesn't need any buffs. He doesn't need Oath, but it's nice when you do it the one time and you oath them so that he gets all his hits. He's insane, but 8 attacks, sustained hits on 3s, strength 14, neg 2, 3 damage, twin linked. It's awesome. Like, that profile is just really good. But what's the kicker about him is that he gets free reroll to advance and charge. And you're going to advance and charge this entire attack. Like, that's what this attachment does.
Yes.
So I feel like every turn I'm spending probably 2 CP my turn and 1 CP my opponent's turn. That doesn't leave a lot of room for like rerolls but Murder Fang doesn't need, he gets his own baked in. So he's a true missile.
Wow.
That's good.
And does he fights on death on a 4-up, right? He does get his own aura.
Yep. The ability says when a Wolfen model is targeted within 6 inches of him, so he is a Wolfen model and he is within 6 inches of himself. Should any Wolfen die from those attacks, you roll it on a 4-up, they fight on death.
Wow. Oof.
So I found myself advancing him, getting into combat, trying to pilot, get into where, kill something I wanted to kill with it. And if they couldn't shoot him, especially if it's like a melee list, then there's a 50-50 chance he's going to fight back.
Wow.
And that, you can kind of see the eyes get wide when that dude picked up, something big. And like, yeah, what are you going to throw into my dreadnought that may kill you?
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah. Hunter, I think you left the barn door open.
You think I left the barn door open? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, here they come.
All the news. Moo Crew.
There goes the neighborhood. The Moo Crew has arrived.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I saw them in the chat commenting, so I figured I'd give them a shout out.
No, we got a bunch of degenerates here in the chat anyway, so.
Yeah, Moo Crew will fit right in.
Yeah.
Indeed. But,
So what else you got?
in the list, so 2 Wolfguard battle leaders. You know them. They're gonna go with my a unit. I'm gonna have 2 units of head takers that they're gonna join.
Yeah.
Just kind of talking about them and the head takers. I noticed with Space Marines that you're very oath dependent. So the
Yes.
more units I can make that don't need oath really help. So them joining the head takers, they get an innate, they get a reroll, they get sustained hits. So that's like hitting on 2s
Wow.
with a reroll in a sense. So they don't need oath, so that I can give it to other units that do need it. The Terminators, the Storm Raven that's coming up, stuff like that. But
Wow. How did you find the damage? Did you find like they were lacking because they can't get +1 to wound, they can't get lance, they can't get AP?
mhm. It was weird with the head takers. I feel like they're always on the cusp that I want to get rid of them. In this detachment, they're great when they're great. Like I played into an orc player, like melee orcs, and when I can fling that unit to Gazgul's unit, I can just do dev wounds and precision, even though they don't kill the whole unit. Once you get a wound on Gazgul, Makari, or you can dev wound out Makari as well. But once you get a wound on Gazgul, Makari can't do his 2 of Invuln to protect Gaz.
Wow.
So they're really good at killing. I would call like infantry, power armored infantry and down. But the second you start running the T5, T6, it starts to, especially T10, you got to find different roles for them, as I would say, is kind of.
We especially in Stormlance because you can't give them the lance like you can in some other detachment.
Correct. And I've looked at some other, ways, putting like, maybe a 6-man unit with a wolf priest in there just to give a truly independent unit that regrows, but it kind of depends on what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Detachments. But these guys were little missiles for the most point, to just throw them out of the Storm Raven and, kill their quarry target and go from there.
Awesome.
But really, the big thing with the unit that I love is the 3 hunting wolves that come with. Like that's the cheapest unit that we can bring.
Any Space Marine can bring, absolutely.
And they're just the hunting. If I don't bring that unit with the head taker, I will put in at least 2 units of Fenrisian wolves because I think we need the wolves.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think that?
Well, it's really easy to string out those units, especially because the bases are long for the hunting wolves. But like even if it's a 5-man wolf, it's easy to string them to a character to get OC.
Yep.
So nothing sucks more. I played against the Custody player. Our first turn collectively took a minute because we both got secondaries that were just don't do anything, like whatever, like push a button. So I think my turn 1 I had like cleanse and what's the one in the middle?
Established locus, area denial.
Locus.
Yeah.
So like turn 1, I was like, okay, both my I was like cleanse, area denial. And I exposed nothing in my unit because I had wolves that could just go push a button.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean that's like you're not really exposing a resource to go do things other armies would have to expose a resource for.
Mm-hmm. So on the games like that, you can have them do that. If you need to screen them out, then they can go hang out in your backfield. And like there is something to be done for those 2 cheap units. And
yeah,
I think that's I don't want to get too far off the list for a little bit, but like Space Wolves, I think you got to lean into your strengths, and one of our strengths is having the cheapest chaff unit for Space Marines.
Wow.
True.
Like no one else has a hunting wolf.
Yeah. It's like I think any other Space Marine unit you're paying minimum like 60 points for 1 invader ATV. That's probably like the second cheapest, or like 45 points for a single character. And that's a singular 40mm base that moves 6.
Yeah,
Yep.
Well, that reminds me of the old Cyberwolf. Was used to be one of the best things you could take for 15 points.
Every time Windmill slammed 3 of those bad boys, and that's how the list started. But that's kind of my MO, and kind of getting with. If you want to keep going through the list, and then we can talk about wolves in general.
Yeah.
I did have an intercessor unit because you want to stick in your home.
Yep.
What's funny is every game I really felt like I wanted a second unit. I was like, man, this unit's just good.
It's so good, man. I'm even thinking about considering 2 now.
Just 20 shots, just constantly just throwing AP1, 20 shots down range and a crack grenade or frag grenade.
Always forget to shoot that stupid thing.
Yeah.
It's funny, you can put on the sergeant too in the squad.
Yep.
So he has a power fist, a noob tube gun, and you're just like,
Yep.
dog. An infiltrator unit, because I had points. I would have loved to have 2 scouts, but the points didn't work out to have. I'd rather have 2 scout squads, but one infiltrator squad. They did what they did.
Yeah, I love them. I always take infiltrators.
Hmm.
I do think they are, especially with the meta, between Storm Ravens and Inceptors and Grey Knight. Like there is play to have 1 to 2 infiltrator squads. But
Absolutely.
if you have a lot of wolves, you may not need. If you're running 2 to 3 units of Fenrisian wolves, you may not need. And 2 scout units, you may can argue that you don't need.
Those Fenrir, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole point. Those 25 millimeter, 25 point wolves can just block out so much real estate for so cheap.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Next, what I got? The Storm Raven.
Storm Raven, man. What in the world are we talking about?
So the Storm Raven was probably the centerpiece of the list because Murderfang gets in there. They kick him out of the ship when he gets too angry, and they point and he runs that stuff.
They drop him from orbit, just send him as a missile.
Yeah, I imagine they don't even give him a parachute. They just throw him out, and he just kind of and goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Storm Raven it's an interesting piece because I do agree that I do think it's better in compliant Marines or whatever they're called because the +1 to wound is just the whole time I'm shooting Stormbolt. But man, I wish I had +1 to wound with these hurricane bolters. But it's such a cool. It makes it keeps the tempo with Stormlance, which I think is big.
So it can keep up with the rest of the list. Is that what you're saying?
It can keep up with the rest of the list. It can set the tempo. It can help me stage. It is just a cool to put both my head takers and Murderfang in there. It really helps clean up the board. And there's sometimes that when you do your go turn, if you don't put any of them out, once they finally kill what's in their face, you have enough stuff kind of where you want it to be, and you're fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fly vehicle, so you can give it -1 to hit, -1 to wound.
Yep. No, I think it's fun, and also it's just I play a very reactive style game, so I'll see where you're at, and I may just zoom the Storm Raven 20 inches. I may turn the table a different way, and that helps. I'm repositioning 3 units.
Yeah.
In the game, so you think you're weak on a flank or you're strong on a flank, and really you're not. Once I throw
All
that,
of a sudden you've got Murderfang, 2 leaders, 2 head takers, a Storm Raven. I love that. A problem I found when I ran Storm Raven and Stormlance is it is impossible to hide except for on your back field edge. It's like a dinner plate size. So you touch any part of terrain, it's infinite high, and you can just shoot at it. How did you get around it? Did you just send other things, and then on your go turn you exposed it, or you maybe kept it farther back?
I kind of kept it back, or some of the depending on the terrain or the missions and the terrain. There's one with a really an L in your deployment zone was nice to where you could put it.
Yep.
Other than that, it's kind of like you said, when you don't piecemeal the army, you throw the whole army.
Extend it. Yeah.
Yep. And you're holding on to that CP, or if you can have 2 CP in your opponent's turn for the reactive move and a pop, -1 to hit, -1 to wound, it really makes the math interesting for them. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
a really fun thing to do with the Storm Raven though is the reactive move to get back into it.
Yes, I love that. It is massive. You can jump all those infantry back in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or even the combi lieutenant. Sometimes I put him on the point, and they thought he was exposed, and there's enough room to get in. And he just
you're only taking up 8 slots with head takers.
So,
well, here's an interesting thing. You only have 6 Thunderwolves, not 18, not 15, not 12.
Yeah, the Thunderwolves, I would have loved to have another unit of 6, I think. But I think the Storm Raven kind of, if I don't bring the Storm Raven, I do bring another unit of Thunderwolf Cav.
Right.
Kind of my, that's about, 50-point difference there, and then kind of adjust the list from there.
Yep.
But
now you have the points for your double scout, and so it just changes a few things. Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely. So that's probably the difference between the lists is no Storm Raven, add a Thunderwolf in another unit with the Storm Raven, you get 1.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure. What else you got?
2 units of head takers. You know them, you love them, and then the big block of 10 Terminators that love it in this
Yes.
detachment, love it in every detachment. I've ran it in this, I've run it in Beast Slayer, and I just kind of how I explain it to everyone is you put the brick on the table and then you just drag it all the way across until they can deal with it. And if it's still alive at the end of the game, I've won the game. I can tell you, handedly.
Oh yeah, and very rarely are they dead.
It's super rare. It can happen. There are things that can kill them in a turn, but if I'm throwing my whole army at you, then
I see you running the full shield, other than on the Sergeant Pack Leader. Have you played around with the assault cannons, or?
In Beast Slayer, I use the assault cannons. In other detachments, Gladius, I do like the Power Fist.
Oh, because you're advancing all the time in this one. Okay,
I don't want to pay 1 CP to
shoot. All right, that makes sense.
Assault cannon shots.
Yeah, because I was running all shield, and then but I'm playing Gladius right now. But once I started playing around with the assault cannons, like, do those 12 shots that for some reason Space Wolf Terminators hit on 2s?
For some reason,
nickeling some dev wounds off stuff. I was like, dude, these things are great. And then that Strength 8 Power Fist helps a little bit sometimes in the third phase. But you're right, Storm Lance, you don't need. It's better to have the extra wound.
Yep, yeah. Their purpose really, as funny as it is, isn't to kill. It's just to be an annoying brick. It's more of a durability thing. So I want the shields and the extra wound.
Makes sense.
Amazing. I'm very curious how you use these each game. Yeah, I really am.
If I went, it just kind of depends on the tempo. If I went first, and if my opponent, especially if they could screen the board out, I would always bring them in turn 1 with Logan Grimnar. And I would almost treat it like it was like an infiltrating unit.
Yeah.
Was if I went first. If I went second, I typically like to rapid ingress them on my opponent's second turn.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it the first turn.
Yep.
But like turn 1, I may bring in like Logan just to get a Vector, and then their turn rapid ingress them or something like that. And there was times like, even if the opponent could screen the board pretty decent, I would rapid when I brought them in. It's such a big unit; it's hard to hide them, and that's really not the point. Sometimes you say, yeah, you can shoot them if you want to, but at that time they've got a Thunderwolf Cab and a Storm Raven in their face. So if you want to put all your shooting to the Terminators, that's great. The Thunderwolf Cab, everything else should be alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was just kind of the thing. Is I tried to put them, see where the opponent was. Either most of the time a rapid, but like a turn 1, get them in position because at Stormlance they're pretty fast.
They're very fast. Yeah, always advancing, charging, always fall back and charging.
And I think I had to tell my opponent that their movement's 6 the whole game. Like, no, I'm faster than like normal Terminators.
Yeah, that's why I have to tell people, if it's a Space Wolf unit, it moves 1 faster than you think it does.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was a few times, especially jumping out of a plane. I'm like, all right, that's 3 plus I move 7 for that, and then this, and you're just like, what? I'm like, yeah, faster than a normal Marine. Like, So, but they were awesome. The Terminator's a lot of fun. I think that's one of our strengths is the Terminator squad. I like the 10-man with Arjack because I think you get more in the fight of death.
Yeah.
If you're only running 1, you have to run them with Arjack.
Yeah, the 5-man squad sounds cool, but the 10-man, you should get 5 fight on deaths.
But also Arjack he just does so much damage. Keeping him alive for longer is very solid. It's like an argument against 2x5, one with Logan, one with Arjack. Well, if you put him in 10-man, Arjack's going to swing twice as long as he normally would.
Yeah, it's almost like they're just Arjack does the damage. Those guys are just kind of
ablative wounds.
It's not. Yeah, it's just wounds for Arjack. As funny as it is.
Yeah, that's and if they try to precision him, you still get the -1 to wound. So he's really with 6 wounds. He's not that easy to precision out.
Yeah, but it does always suck when opponent's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do precision." Like, don't not Arjack because then this unit really goes down when he dies.
Yeah, they do 2-3 damage wounds and he rolls no 4s. You're like, God dang it. Mm-hmm. And then Arjack doesn't roll the 4 up to fight, and you're like, okay. And then your Terminators still live all game and kill stuff, and you're like, Yeah, Arjak's just a bonus.
Or he's just a bonus.
I had to
I
happen the
love
other night. I was playing in Grey Knights, and we realized he played his rule wrong, but he charged me with the Grandmaster with the mace that's anti-character 2-up. Then
Oh.
he precisioned into Arjak, and then he popped his strat for dev wounds that we found out later is only infantry. And so he's doing dev wounds on a 2-up, which I see why they don't let the guy do it. But yeah, he just picked up Arjak and 2 Terminators.
Oh,
and I was like,
dang.
Oh, that's okay.
and then later, we're like, oh no, I should have got some saves on Arjak. So he might have still died, but he wouldn't have taken anything else with him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But they still finished off that Grandmaster by themselves, and then ran over and killed most of a Land Raider, and we're still there at the end of the game. I'm like,
Hmm.
Fair enough.
yeah,
That's
they
awesome.
lose some punch up when they lose the characters, but doesn't affect their survivability because all their survivability is from their data sheet.
Yeah, and that was kind of the gist of this, army is survivability, is just
Yep.
being a brick. And there's a lot. I got tabled, a few games, but it didn't matter at the end. I won on the primary and the missions, and that's kind of what you got to do with Stormlance, because that's our downfall is that this isn't, other than Murderfang, it's not a killing list.
Hmm.
That's what we keep hearing. Like that's the same thing Forrest said. Is like run out, score as many points as I can because you're going to table me.
Die slowly.
Try it, live a little long. Yeah, die slow enough that I'm up on points.
Yeah.
That was the goal, and that was the only way I beat the Tyranid players. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
kill the big bugs.
Tell us about, yeah. I mean, that's fascinating to transition into maybe tell us about the games you had. I think Matt's got all the games pulled up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So starting
Right.
against, yep.
yeah. You got Invasion Fleet.
Yep. This guy, Justin, he's actually a local guy with me. So
Okay.
we drove to, it's always fun when you go to an event with someone that you can play, you play every RTT and then y'all pair into each other. It's always
Yes.
funny. Justin's a great player. Like he went, I think I was his only loss for the event. And it's a standard, it's an invasion fleet, 2 norms, and some big monsters, a few things, and just say a standard NIDS list.
Yeah.
What's funny is I always prepare my games to go second. That's how I plan to go second. It's not like the old edition where you rolled before deployment and see who got to go first and you could maybe seize it. Was funny.
Yeah.
But so this was a game I remember I deployed, go second, kind of cagey, and avoid some angles from being shot and stuff. And I got to go first. I was like, okay, well, he's kind of close enough. If I roll high on Murderfang's advance, I'm going to full send this. I'm going to just throw my whole army at him. But I was like, and if I just roll okay, I got a good staging area for Ruin here for Murderfang.
Mm-hmm.
And with his free reroll, I rolled like a 5 or a 6. So the bowling pin went out.
Send it.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, burn 2 CP, send the Thunderwolf Cab as well. We'll try a 9-inch charge with the Terminators, turn 1 from Deep Strike, and Murderfang on turn 1 killed a Norm Emissary. So that was really, because it wasn't on his objective.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is
so no feel no
insane.
pain. Yeah, he didn't have time to get to the objective. That helps.
I think
a
I
lot.
did a little shooting into him, but it did not enough. Like Murderfang dropped an elbow, killed 1.
Nice.
Wow.
And I just but once you start tagging a bunch of stuff in NIDS, because all their weapons are blast for the most part, they're shooting.
Oh yeah, those exocrines and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
So Murderfang was there, and then funny enough, Murderfang almost him and the other Norm went to fight, and he spiked. He almost killed 2 Norms in 2 turns. It was
That's crazy, man.
just a bowling ball went, but like NIDS are just. Other than Murderfang killing the 2, the Norm and a half, and his other big stuff, I just kind of tried to tag it and kill all the mission play.
Yep.
Every turn 1, I wanted to, with the Storm Raven, I shot like the little guys with all the bolter shots and just try to kill the mission play, and then him in, and he goes, and I just keep hemming him in because he couldn't kill my whole army. And as he whittled me down, the points he had a 1 turn where he kind of not whiffed, but like once you can't kill a whole piece, I get more playing parts of my army, then I can start focusing more. So it's either a table or die, and it kind of ran away at the end. But that's kind of the NIDS. It's kind of a very similar at the end. I played in another invasion fleet, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
I find the NID game sometimes it comes down to Do I roll okay on these battle shocks in the middle of the game on the key turn, or does he zero my primary because I fail a bunch of weird battle
Yeah.
shocks for no reason?
Luckily, he tried to sticky at least one. One of those.
Yeah, intercessors help. Yep,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, sticky's great. What was it? Round 2, I did CSM. Great opponent. It was literally like the same thing. I was planning to go second. Ended up going first. Murderfang rolled high on the advance again and just kind of burn the 2 CP and send the Thunderwolf 21
That's
in.
amazing. I love
And
that.
funny enough, this guy played a hell of a game. He overwatched me with that stupid Vindicator that GW refuses to touch.
Yeah.
The Chaos Vindicator, when it does sustained hits on Overwatch, it ended up killing 4 Thunderwolf Cav on Overwatch.
Whoa, man.
It just kind of happens. But then it made the game, it went from like hey, I'm going to end this game quick to I'm going to have to grind it now because turn 1 I was going to try to kill Vastor, Vindicator, and something else, Venom Crawler.
That's crazy.
But,
Wait, so how far did Murderfang, like how far forward did you have to deploy the Stormraven for Murderfang to get off these charges? Like, were you on a flank really far forward with this?
I have to remember the missions, but typically there was a pretty decent spot kind of in the middle.
Right.
I think that one may have been no. So I mean, typically there was a pretty decent staging area in the middle, and I just kind of knew with this detachment what he was doing, like, or where he had deployed. Like, he may have shot the Stormraven with 1. If he advanced, got a decent advance roll. But
Right.
a lot of times Murderfang's, hopping out of the plane and going through the 2-inch or less crates and just running at you. He moves 9, I think.
Yep.
Plus a plane, so that's 12 plus a D6,
And then a reroll
5 or
charge,
6.
rerolling D6. Yeah.
So a 6-inch rollable charge for free with Murderfang is a pretty tempting turn 1.
Yeah.
Because you go for the kill shot.
Now that you're talking about Murderfang, I was listening to a slight tangent. I was listening to a World Eaters player talk about his experience. He brings a demon prince with an extra relic, and it's got and it's just like, this demon prince is the thing that goes and kills. You just need the one thing that goes and just kills. Mm-hmm. And I think Murderfang could fill that role, funnily enough, because he just touches things and they fall. Like, that is just a very valuable role in Space Wolves where you don't really have that otherwise.
Well, in Stormlance, you don't kill anything great. You weight a dice and outmaneuver. You're very fast, but Murderfang will kill. So when I wanted him, I wasn't throwing him into like a chaff unit per se. I was trying to get him into something meaty that I know my head takers couldn't kill, even if they were the Quarry with Oath. It's like, yeah, it's T6, T10. Yeah. I need Murderfang to kill that.
Right. Wow, fascinating.
Yeah, he kind of solved a lot of questions that I have on the list. But yeah, that was the CSM list. I went first. It became more of a grind, but even when he killed the Stormraven, everything else got out, and it was just a really nice kind of on where I wanted to be.
Yeah, good. How did the Terminators do in that match?
I mean, it was when he killed the TCAV, it really, I was like, well, great. I made it to where I'm only going to focus on my triangle, my home, the middle, and the expansion objective for him. And so I just brought them in turn 1, didn't make the 9-inch charge, but they were where they needed to be.
Yep.
Because he had TCAV, Murderfang, Stormraven, and them kind of on a flank, and he had some stuff over here that couldn't interact with it. So his whole army wasn't interacting with my whole army, whereas I was going to be able to kill probably half of his army, and then the other half doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They don't have the teeth to kill everything. They kind of start to break there and start going, and once I get to the middle, that's about good enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Round 3, you played everyone's favorite barbarian, Mark Perry. Did he have shoes on?
No.
No? Okay. Just making sure.
Yep, the guy Mark. He's really, me and him have had. He's from the same state as me. He's really helped me become a better player. This was the first we've played many a time in events, and it's always we're kind of going towards the final table. This is my first time to actually beat Mark in a GT. So it was really,
Oh, nice.
yeah, really big props to him. Now the circle is complete. The Padawans become the master now.
Yeah. Mark and I played a lot back when he was down here, and we were all on Brohammer. I love
Mark's
that guy.
awesome. Man.
Yeah,
Good
Mark's
people.
great people. Yeah.
And he had a very Mark Perry list for CSM.
Oh yeah. That's right. If you
was-
see Mark Perry, you're like, all right, is it CSM or Orcs? Because it's one of the two.
And he played that list very well, and
He does.
everything here punches really hard, and it was a grind the whole game of reactive moves was my friend. This game, this was a game where I didn't go first, but like the Storm Raven was awesome in this game because it let me just reposition my army where I needed it to be. And then I got to set the tempo because I was faster than him. Like I made him have to play out into me. And then once he did, I had enough CP to throw the Thunderwolves, advance, kind of like do what I need to do. And we were kind of playing the fight. I fought first where he interrupted that. I had to fight on death at.
Oh, yeah.
With either Murder Fang or the Terminators. And so even when he interrupted, I still hurt him. And I had a Vector where I needed it to be. It was trying to plan. It was really a chess game that you would expect nothing else from a Mark Perry experience. And
Oh yeah.
it just ended up eventually I had more unit. I did enough damage to where he couldn't kill enough, but it was still a very down to the last turn, could have gone either way, and then it just ran away.
Oh, wow.
That's good. And
Yeah.
once again, you were Mark's only loss. He won every other game.
Yep, I told you it was a grind. It was that will be the common theme for a lot of the people I played was I was their loss. And
Wow.
I've been saying that since the book dropped. Space Wolves have to play a grindy game because we don't have that damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so that was, but man, great game. That was awesome. What did I have after that? Custodes, I think,
Let's see.
or Orcs. I think I had Orcs.
Works.
Yep.
Orcs was just another game that once I got enough CP to where I had an interrupt, and I just reactive moved the entire game. He was a very one-dimensional army, very good at that dimension. He fights way better than we do, but I was faster and had like the answers to him. Like I said, the head takers were the MVPs in this matchup because I could just precision out his characters.
Yeah, Gazgul. Mm-hmm.
Gazgul, what's his name that leads the Gretchen unit?
Zogrod.
Zagrog, yeah. He moved, got a little close. It was still a decent charge, but I was able to jump out the Storm Raven, go charge, and precision out whatever it is, the Zagrog guy. Which once you kill him, that 20-man Gretchen unit becomes
Useless. Yeah.
Once you get a wound or start killing, I think I precision when I went to Gazgul's unit. I think I killed the Pain Boy and did some damage to Gaz, and I was okay with. I was like, that's cool. That unit dies, which is fine. But I did the damage I needed to cripple that squad.
Yeah. Wow.
And
Go ahead.
Yeah, then after that, it was just reactive moves. I was kind of like taunt. They're like, no, you can definitely charge these Terminators. It's like a 6-inch charge. But if you get close, it'll become a 12-inch charge.
Yeah. Wow. That is actually a brilliant skill in Stormlands with Beast Slayer as well. Sometimes Gladius, pre-measuring that reactive move to use it to its fullest extent.
Mm-hmm. And that was probably, I think I did it one time with head takers getting back in the transport, and one time with the lieutenant running away from trouble to get into the transport. It was just that was a fun one.
Yeah, funny enough, the last time I played Mark, he was running Zogrod, and we were playing the stupid mission where back when you had the special rules where you couldn't use core Roblox strats turn 1. So he had Zogrod and all the Gretchen run right past my Redeemer, and I couldn't overwatch him with my Flamers. And charged into my line turn 1. And I was like, this fucking sucks.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it is. Like, and it just ties it there. Like, it should not take that long to kill fucking Gretchen.
-1 to wound.
Yeah.
Have a invuln Gretchen or whatever.
Yeah. Mega Man saying, little behind, but does Murderfang start in the Storm Raven and can advance charge out of it? Yeah, everything can advance and charge. Hunter was saying he does start Murderfang in the Storm Raven every game.
Every game.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, he can't advance. He doesn't have assault ramp. He has to advance and charge out of it before it moves, right?
Before it moves.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be awesome. If I could move it 20 inches and throw the guys out,
Literally like
Yes.
airdrop Murderfang. You know.
that would be awesome. But no,
I think they used to be able to do that back in the day, like 5th edition. I don't remember
Get a free tank shot because you're literally dropping Murderfang on top of them.
exactly.
I did tank shock a few times, Murderfang. That was kind of a nice like chaff in the way. And I was like, I'll tank shock. Why not? Didn't get to the juicy thing that I needed to, but
Nice.
indeed. So after that was Custodes. Really good player. This was Scorched Earth. So this is where the wolves were awesome. This was like the one I told you. Like my first turn was cleanse, and whatever it's called.
Area now.
No, I don't think it was area. Let's see where you do an action in the middle.
Establish.
Establish. It's been 20 different things, but yeah, establish locus. It's a jet bike list. He played a little defensive and got Kate. It was funny, like this is one where you can just sit on 2 objectives the whole game and then burn, and whoever goes bottom of turn kind of wins. And he just got so defensive because he was so worried about the speed and me kind of getting into him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember like first turn I didn't do anything, no CP, so like he went. I'm sitting on like 5 CP, whatever it is. I got to do something. Like the nails bit, the wolves called, and a rapid ingress brick of Terminators. And I outside of his charge range and shooting range because he was castled for 2 turns and his eyes got wide. I was like, yeah, I'm going to advance and throw these guys into your home field. Turn 2.
Wow.
And it took him 2 or 3 turns to kill that 10-man brick that was.
Oh yeah.
He had I think 2 bike unit, the shooting from the tanks, and just it takes a lot.
Takes a lot, man. They're durable.
Yeah,
Yes, they are.
Cover and armor content's a pain in the butt for Custodes.
Oh yeah.
And so I just kept him in his deployment zone for about 2 or 3 turns, and it just ran away from there. He couldn't threaten. He never threatened my home or my expansion. I was just like, I'm just gonna start burning stuff. And
I find that's what wolves do best is bully primary.
Hmm?
Yeah, those Terminators. I had a game last week. I think it was the week before. We were playing Scorched Earth, and I think it was layout 6. I was able to turn 1 deep strike RJack squad over near his expansion behind a building, and then turn 2, I just ran RJack squad on it. It had my scouts that were heading over, just toe on touching it where no one could see them, and I burnt his expansion on turn 2.
I love
And he was like,
Oh,
"What?"
man.
And then, and I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah." So now you got to come try to fight for my expansions. You're not gonna be able to burn this late game, and wolves get up on primary early, and if you don't have these burns,
especially with getting rid of challenger cards, it's really helped.
that
our
helps
play.
wolves so much.
With this play style that I'm doing, is like I'm not killing him. Just primary denial was big, and that's why I think the games look close, and then at the end I get a 15. It's like, well, damn,
Well, that's the way they force us to play with what they did with our data sheets.
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
It's the really only successful way to play wolves is just
And
playing
bully
your
primary.
strengths.
I really think, playing different armies, I think it's the hardest way to play because you got to understand you're not killing. Like you're throwing the pawns away and you can't piecemeal it. Because if I threw just that Terminator squad at you, you can kill it.
Oh, yeah.
With your whole army, you can kill it. And then you can kill the Thunderwolves with everything. It's not hard, but it's when you throw everything in a certain way and divide their armies into what can react where that's where we win.
Yeah, you're like, all right, here's my whole army. Choose what you're going to kill, and then I'll decide how I'm going to play after I see what units you decided to leave me. Because you can't kill all of it, so pick what you want to kill.
Yep, absolutely. But the last game was awesome. I played another NIDS guy. We had a great game, but it was the same thing. It was he actually went first this game, which was, in my mind, I was like, great. I prefer playing second for the most part. Sometimes you do need the first turn, because I like the position with Stormlance.
Yeah.
But on this was one where it's the Alpha and the Omega objective.
Oh, supply drop?
Yes, supply drop. And I 0 primary down the whole game. It was it was all.
Well, wolves can do that great. You're like, all right, I'm going to take all 3. Oh, I'm slowly losing assets. Yeah, but now I only got to control 2. Oh, I'm losing assets. Well, now I only have to control the 1.
this was the game where it's like he wasn't fast enough to get to my expansion, which I think that is the downside of NIDS, is unless they commit their what do they call them, the gene stealers and stuff, which that becomes a different problem if they do that for them.
Yeah.
But this was one that when I went, I didn't even bother with his big monsters. They were so far back and like kind of playing through, like I'm fully on the ruin and my gun's shooting, out this way. I was like, when I went, I was like, I'm just going to kill all your mission play. Mm-hmm. Every bit of it. I killed like as much as I could. The first 2 turns, I just killed Hormagaunt. I was literally just killing Gaunts and Gene Stealers and, whatever called the Lictor. The Lictor guy survived for like 2 turns. And it really
that's the stuff we can kill.
Yeah. Did you send the head takers out early to just clear screens and do stuff?
No, they were actually pretty, like, I just threatened the middle with them was kind of when he threw the whatever the gaunts out and stuff. Like I kind of waited for him because that bottom turn I could be a little passive in the game, and I really wanted to stage in my ruin just because I was like, man, I just really need to hold on to my expansion as long as possible, keep him off his, and at the very end just throw everything to the middle. That was the game plan, and kind of it worked. He had 0 primary at the end, and he killed my whole army, which was fine. But this was a tough. I feel like he had the answers to everything in my army.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Gene Stealers and the Broodlord can do enough dev wounds to really cripple the Terminator squad. The shooting is just so the big guns. That's the D6 plus 6 damage guns can pop Storm Raven ease. Even with the -1 hit and wound, it's like they're heavy. And I didn't have the range to really threaten them. Like, if I had like a repulsor executioner or something, start picking off. But like, I think NIDS are really good. The damage and all the toughness and the speed. And he had the thing that makes it where you can't advance, the Spore Mine.
Oh, the Spore Mines are so hard to deal with at Stormlands. You want a 21 advance? No, you can only move 12.
And he did it the first turn or 2, but then like I don't know. I mean, I get it. The nails bit for him. He got behind enemy lines or something, so he put one in my backfield. And I was like, I am okay giving up 3 points for whatever it's called or whatever it was for behind enemy lines, so that I could advance my army.
Yeah, that sounds like a mistake on his part. Like letting those wolves get in.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that was kind of like when he did it. I was like, I got my mobility. It was like I got to turn the switch on. I was like, cool, I get to be more mobile. But he was we had a great game, and it feels weird, man. That was probably the only game I've ever 0 primaried someone. And at the end, I'm like sweating. I'm like, oh yeah, we did it, boys.
Wow.
We got just enough in the way. He couldn't get to the middle and all this.
Well, because that one's weird. Yeah, you can have him 0-0-0. Oh, I let him hold 1 objective turn 5. You got 15 points.
Yeah.
Yep, he just really couldn't get to my expansion, so I was kind of picking up the whatever it was every time. And when he shadows me, I passed it. I was like, thank God, because I needed those points.
Yeah, I bet. Wow.
And then, so was there anything in the meta you were worried or had a plan for that you kind of dodged? I know there's some armies that have been doing well that you didn't run into.
I mean, it was really fun. I didn't want to go into NIDS, and I went to them twice with really
there you
good players. So I was like, dang, this is going to be I feel like they had a lot of the answers to the questions I could give them.
Because I know Eldari is popular, but I find wolves do really, really well into Eldari.
I felt pretty good into they do have Eldar's a really great army and can do. The Fire Dragons can pick up the Storm Raven pretty easy,
but they just bounce off the Terminators.
The Terminators.
And if they have the Jane Star unit, if you can get the Thunderwolves in there, they're not infantry, so they don't really do anything. So I sound like we have a lot of good answers to Eldari.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we get nerfed a lot.
See, I've said that before. That's why we got nerfed, because we're good into Eldar.
Mm-hmm.
I called that out. Yep.
It's this big Eldar conspiracy.
Yeah.
Since second edition, everyone knows that. Name the one army that's never bad.
Eldar. Never.
It has never been bad. That's actually true.
Yep.
No, they were the kings of this edition, and even when no one was playing, I was like, man, they're still pretty good. Like,
really good.
Oh yeah.
They just weren't like, stick your tongue out and do dev wounds with your knights that were -1 to wound and picking up custody squads with dev wounds. Like,
yeah, no, not anymore.
Yeah. Did you have any plans for the Raven Guard if you saw it? I haven't
Go
had to
touch
play
'em.
against that yet.
Go
Yeah,
touch them. You
go
know,
fast and touch them. Yeah, all I gotta do is get my finger on them, and like,
Yeah.
it's the that was the plan, was to take up all the table, and
Yep.
you know,
So you got the
infiltrate.
infiltrators help. That's
Yep.
kind of my thought on. I haven't played that matchup, but that was kind of my thought on how it should work too.
It's the infiltrators and the screen, and whenever and the reactive move was going to save me that
Yep.
that thing. But yeah, go touch them. That was the plan for that one.
Sounds good, man.
I'm trying to think of other armies. Like, I mean, I feel like knights. I know it sounds weird. It's just like anything that's that high, a ton of vehicles and toughness is a pain, and it's just getting in the way.
sounds like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually haven't had much problem with them yet because you just fight them on the other side of the objectives, and just you can tank Primordial Knights too. I've found since their OC went down, and they went down to the T9 on the Little
Little
Knights.
Knights.
It helps, but I don't know. Lancers are
Yeah.
they'll hurt, when they need to. The tank shock, and they'll kill the Thunderwolf cav.
True. Yeah.
But no, I mean, that was kind of the plan, was either, if I can kill him, I will kill him. If I can outmaneuver, I will outmaneuver. If I can't do that, just go get in the way. And I feel like I had to do that 3 times, and just go get in the way is a tough
Way to play,
mentality.
man.
It's a tough way
It
to
is
have to
brutal.
play. Yeah.
Because you have to charge, and I had to do a lot of like, okay, cool, I can't fit a base here anymore, so now I get the movement that I need to
Yeah.
consolidate and get in the way. I was doing that a lot.
hmm
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill and pre-thought and movement, charges, where you're piling in, where you're consolidating. Just
Especially with how complicated piloting and consolidates are.
this edition. Oh, absolutely.
And the whole, like, if you can base, you must base. And it's like you're just kind of like the whole time, like, okay, I rolled too much on my charge, and now I'm punished for it.
Yeah.
And I
There's
think
some detachment or enhancement somewhere that I saw in the last couple months where you can pile in or consolidate or something 6 inches, but in any direction or something.
Saga the Hunter, man.
Was that
20
Hunter?
scouts.
All right.
Yeah,
I knew there was some.
yeah,
That's
there's
one of the
something.
things I saw in it that I thought, man, that's pretty cool.
Pretty solid.
Yep, I think that's one of those strats that's like, it's there, and there's a few armies that have something like it, and no one thinks to. I don't know. I just haven't seen it a lot or used a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it is good.
Because
Yeah.
you can't guarantee you're going to get into the situation where it's really going to get its efficiency, and the rest of the detachment's kind of hit or miss. So it's like, do I take this attachment just for that strat and hope I get in that situation?
Mhm.
Wow.
And I love other detachments. I know I was kind of telling you guys beforehand, like, this was a Stormlance. I know a lot of people, most people have an idea for Stormlance. I think mine was a little different with the Storm Raven and Murder
Oh,
Fan. It worked for me. Now, I will say it's a knife's edge because you only have one Thunderwolf unit. So if you lose something early, like this was one of the most complicated lists I've played. Like, it was a very non-forgiving.
Not a lot of units. Like, you mess
Yeah.
up and expose something too early and it
Mhm.
dies. Like, that's tough.
Or your movement, or if you just fail a charge, I always try to keep a CP just in case I needed that reroll. But you could get out of position, or if the terrain was bad,
Yeah.
hmm
could really be hurt. That's why I was like, when I played that Nid spec at the end, I was like, man, this dude outshoots me like hard. Like, I have to hope it works, because that could have gone the other way quick. But I've done other detachments, I think are great. They're like so close with Space Wolves. They're like,
They really, yeah.
if every detachment had a 1 CP advance and charge, then I don't think I'd run Stormlance. I really think I would run. I mean, I had a lot of success with Beast Slayer at Lone Star Open.
Yeah, you were mentioning that. Tell us if you went undefeated at Lone Star Open, got like top 5. What did you run there?
I ran Beast Slayer. I had I think I had a Rep X with a 6-man unit of Head Takers and Ragnar, a few Tech Priests or Tech Marines, but this was or about Iron Priest, but this was before the nerf. So, but they were still buffing the what was that, the Predator. I was still bringing a Predator or a Lancer and a Rep X, just because the big gun's what you want, and it was the
Exactly.
Knights. The Knights were the meta at the time.
Yeah.
What else did I have? I think I had like 2 units of 3 Thunderwolves because they were just a great skirmisher. 6-man head takers with Ragnar, and just a few other like little things, some wolves and stuff like that. That was a great list. I had a lot of fun with the head taker. Oh, I had two. That was double infiltrator too, because Gene Sitter Cult was a big thing at the time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I went undefeated. I did have one tie, which who doesn't love a good tie at a major?
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. The lethal hits, the reactive move, and that detachment's very strong. If it just had advance, but the whole time I was like, if you make a Beast Slayer, I think you have to put a Ragnar unit in there because you have to have a threat for advance and charge.
You need the advance and charge. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Ragnar with 10 or 20 claws is like almost necessary in any Beast Slayer list on building.
Yeah. I've even played with Ragnar with the head takers and something else is the blood claw, so I have 2 advance and charge units.
That's true.
Yeah. I did forget. I did have a 10-man brick and Arjak and Logan. As well. That is kind of like I need to have this in the army.
Yes.
I love Beast Slayer. It's awesome. And the is fun.
Yeah, I want to love bold, but it's all like character and some of it even Space Wolf character specific. Like, we have an advance and charge strat. Yeah, but it doesn't work on Thunderwolves. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's so crazy. I think if they made the Space Wolves detachments like where it just affected Adeptus Astartes, like everyone else has.
Yes.
And because you took characters away, just like you said, for Thunderwolf Cab and Terminators, they can't bring a lieutenant or anything like that for some reason. You took all this stuff away. And you're like, okay, well now it's locked to your own stuff, so you can't buff, other units and stuff that are good. I really don't think it would make it broken. I think it would just make Space Wolves just a little bit better than they are now. Just the list would be different, and you could do some stuff.
Yeah, I'd love a Terminator chaplain in the squad. So, +1 to wound. Or another thing I'd love, I keep saying, Njal with a 10-man Stern Guard.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Like, if we just took a few restrictions away, like we could
Judicar with head takers, paired weapon head takers. Oh my God, can you imagine?
The Judy with a head taker squad would be great. And,
so great.
Yeah, you can put them in an inner circle, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The inner circle of Dark Angels, but you can't put them in.
Yeah, I think you probably we're pretty much the only one who can't.
Mm-hmm. And I really don't think it would break the game. I really don't think there would be like one like Broviathan list that we would all run, or one list that we all run. I think it would just make the game. I think you would see more depth and more different lists, because right now I think we're a little pigeonholed to like we have to have advance and charge. So we're either Gladius or Stormlance.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
If you want to win at the high end, competitive, like if you really want to win a major or a GT, I think you have to do those.
Yeah, Beast Slayer has some really strong strengths, but I feel like your game plan and your movement and your positioning and your placing, your deployment has to be so polished. You deploy a unit out of position, oops, they're not going to be in the game until turn 4 or 5. That's just how it is.
You go into an opponent that can screen you really well, so now your Terminators are pushed back. I played against that one time with my Beast Slayer. Some dude just took the board. He was playing Stormlands, and he just took the whole board. And I was like, great, my Terminators are dropping pretty much almost in my deployment, a little bit farther away from my expansion, and they can't advance and charge in Beast Slayer. So I'm hoping for I was hoping for like a 7-inch charge, and if not, we're just there.
Yeah, that's one of the things that keeps me in Gladius is the fight on death and the advance and charge.
Fight on death is great. Yep.
Yeah, but I love all the other detachments. With every one, I was like, man, I wish I had advance and charge.
There's always one thing missing. Hunter, if they had advance and charge in Hunter, I would run it so much. Oh, yeah. It would actually make our damage good. We wouldn't need Oath. It's got some cool tricks to it. Bold is great. There's some amazing enhancements and strats. Yeah.
I think they're all really good if they just had advance and charge. I think you could win with any of them if you had that. We're just too slow in my opinion, and that stuff. But
even with the extra movement, we're too slow.
I know, unfortunately.
Yep.
So Hunter, I'm curious. You won this grand tournament. Congrats. What did you think of your list? Are there MVPs that you're keeping in? Are there units that you're like, You mentioned the head takers or maybe the
the head takers are close. Like it's every time I want to get rid of them, they'll do really good in the game. Like the orcs game, that was so critical to precision out of character. I could see the head takers and the battle leaders being taken out, but anytime you remove them, you have to add, in my opinion, 2 units of Fenrisian wolves just to do cheap actions. I think you do at least.
Yeah, especially the way you run wolves. You have like a 400-point brick, you have a 280-point brick, you have a 230-point brick. You just have like really expensive. You need action monkeys.
Mm-hmm. You have to. Luckily, I don't think this edition is. I don't think like as in previous editions you needed more action monkeys. I think you can get away with like 2 to 3. I really do think, because whatever's sitting on your home objective, and then like another one that you can go to the middle or go outside your deployment zone. That's about. Is it great to get your opponents, yours in the middle? Great for that stuff. It's awesome, but I don't know if you really need it to win.
Well, especially if you're bullying them on primary, if you're winning on primary significantly, then you only need to keep secondary kind of close. You don't have to score 40.
Correct.
High 20s, low 30s, you should still be good if you're executing the other game plan.
Yeah.
But I think you talk about the list and stuff. There's things that I'm looking at and I want to try. It's hard to like really change the list too much because I just did really good against a lot of really good players. Like I'm going to Worlds next. I really don't plan to win Worlds. That'd be awesome. But I like to know my limits, if you will. As I think once I'm going up against people that do it every day, I'm just a guy that loves Space Wolves and does good with them. But other things I've looked at the list, I really think a Venerable Dreadnought's not bad. For Stormlance, +1 advance, so make your fast list faster. +1 advance and charge aura is not bad.
Wow.
2/9, 4 up invuln, axe that hits hard. It's like another murder thing.
Yeah.
To an extent, another murder thing. So I've thought about that one, and that could also help in like the matchups where it's like, man, I'm going to lose this game. I got to hit them and get into them. An 8-inch charge from those Terminators is way better than a 9-inch charge.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But I think I've looked at a Venerable Dreadnought. I know Michael Mann's been preaching some Vanguard vets with shields, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what it feels like on TTS. I don't believe it, but he swears by it when I'm talking to him. And I still think just JPI is maybe better just for mortal wounds and stuff. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Other units I've looked at was a 6-man brick of head takers with shields and the priest, just because they get +1 to wound. But it's really just a brick. It's just another, like if I'm going to play the brick game with 10-man Terminators, do a 6-man head takers and Thunderwolf cab, it's just a durability, hold on to the primary and pray that you survive.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I think those are kind of like where I'm kind of, and then there is a fun, just start at like a T5 and just go up. Just bring all Wolf and Thunderwolf and Terminators and just see how it feels.
Yeah.
It's funny to me, shield head takers seem so easy to kill. When before the Codex came out, I was running Blade Guard with Ragnar. I was like, man, I'm so happy with how well they live. But once you play that squad of Terminators, even the Thunderwolves, just like they feel squishy. It's like those Terminators spoil you so much, and you're like, what do you mean you didn't eat all 2,000 points of shooting and live?
Yeah, but again, I think that's I love it. It's like, hey, this edition's really killy, and then it's like, what if I bring a really durable army? It's like maybe sometimes,
yeah,
sometimes, especially if your opponent, if they whiff, they whiff.
Just don't pair into Marneus, Gilliman, and then all.
Oh man, that list will. Oof.
I don't care how survivable you are. You're like on layout 4 or something wide open. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, that
wound. Oh, I did die.
It's also not okay. It's definitely not balanced. I had my past tournament when I ran Raven Guard, I was deciding should I run Wolves. I ran a really heavy, durable Stormlight SKU, 15 Thunderwolves, 10 Terminators, Bjorn, you name it. But I played I play tested into that Gilliman trip double Redeemer Calgar, and they picked up like 1,300 points in like a turn and a half. And I was like, oh my God, this is brutal. Sometimes that durability skew just doesn't like do enough for you. Or I definitely could have played it better, but you got to know when the units are still going to die.
And I think that's the thing is the more games you have experience with, and the more things that you do, you understand, like, I know I can't kill, I know they can kill me. Like, you kind of know where your durability, and you say, well, how do I fix that? If I know I'm going to lose, like, I know they can kill my Terminator Brig and T-Cab and stuff. Well, how do I win? And a lot of times it's just a full send. A lot of people I found don't know how to respond to full aggro.
Right.
They really get wide-eyed when you throw your whole, like, I'll stick you my home objective and I'm just running at you.
The intercessors are sending,
Yeah, they advance, shoot, and charge in Stormlands. They got
really
assault
do.
guns. Like,
They're
they're
great.
not bad. And they're 2 OC each. But, like, I feel like a lot of times people got into this, like, trade piece game of one model, like, truly chess. But then sometimes, Space Wolves just ignore the rules. Play checker, flip the table, and throw the whole army at them. And people freak out. And you start touching and tagging things because maybe some people get out of practice, so they don't expect the full aggro. And now they can't shoot and blast, and you kind of got the piecemeals to what you can start chipping away their army to where they can't handle you. But
yeah,
know when to go full sin and know when not to.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Very true.
But I think wolves are in a good spot. I really think if you're a wolf player and you like a certain type of list, you can become an expert in it. I still think you could probably win with 80 blood claws.
That's still a list.
I think
sure.
that's still a list. It may not be you may not win worlds with it, but some people can't handle that.
But only one person wins worlds, so it's like that's not like.
Yeah,
But I say, I'd still like to run like 80 blood claws and like 40 gray hunters and just like. I don't want to build and paint it, but I'd love to run it.
I already got it, man. Come on, they're right there.
Oh man,
there's all the
borrow them from worlds. Like honestly,
hey, if I can use my old firstborn stuff, I can do it.
Put on a big bag, should be fine. No one will care.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking about worlds is like bringing a list. It's like, look, I'm not going to win worlds, but I may stop you from winning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bring a really like skew list to worlds. I'm not going to win either. Just full send.
I think that's my plan for worlds. It's just a fun skew. It may be 18 Thunderwolf and 20 Terminators. And
dude, I keep building that on the app. I keep building that.
Matt, don't even tell me, man.
Indeed. But I think Wolves is a good codex. I think we've got some depth. If you like dreads, play a dread list. You may catch yourself off guard. You just got to know your different play styles. If you want to do 80 blood claws,
I'm taking 3 Redemptors. I'm taking 3 Redemptors to a GT this weekend.
Are you running Murder Fang and Bjorn and some Venerable Dreads?
No, I'm running Bjorn, 3 Redemptors, 20 Terminators.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like 2 big Terminator squads with the characters and the Redemptors, and then some double Infiltrator just because there's a lot of Grey Knights and Raven Guard and stuff around here.
There you go.
And it's just basically like, all right, I put these 2 units, this back half of the board you can't come to. Now you got to come through the rest of my army to get over here.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said when you can make another opponent's army one direction. Mm-hmm. You're like, with those little wolves and an infiltrator, you've screened out your backfield. It's like, yeah, man, you got to meet me this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot.
Absolutely.
And such. But what else? Any other questions, guys? Or
any other questions from chat? You got any other last questions you want to ask Hunter Aiden?
No, I mean, I was just really curious how you made it work with such a skew list. Murder Fang, Storm Raven, a 10 brick. It's fascinating. It sounds like it was a very thin, a very narrow game plan. You couldn't make a lot of mistakes and lose bricks early. But it was great having you on, Hunter. I really enjoyed talking to you.
I think you got it right. It was that was probably one of the tougher lists I've ran. I've had a pretty good bit of experience with it. If someone wants to run that list, I'd say, man, get some practice. Deployment is big.
Yep.
And, just kind of understand that when you rapid big termies, they're going to get shot. Just pick what you want to get shot by. And you're going to be okay. That 10-man brick will survive some shooting. but it's a tough list. You know, it is a knife's edge list
Mhm.
for it. So
Yeah. And
Yeah.
seeing his head takers, it's got me double thinking my drop pod grenade with three mans in a
Oh
character.
man, Matt,
12
that
models.
would be a sight to see.
you know,
I got the boxes to do it. I got to build up the last 6 head takers, the paired weapon ones. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's actually what I've got a model. Been working on my like 12 whatever, so I can run 2 6-mans if I wanted to, but or 12 of them. But
yeah, I got a 6-man of shield head takers built and painted. I got 2 boxes to build my 6 paired.
see, I was
try out
blessed.
some takers. Yeah.
I was blessed when I made my regular Blade Guard vets. I made them very wolfy, put a bunch of pelts and stuff on them. I was like, oh, look, they're head takers now. Like,
We got someone, William Lewis, saying, "Get better, Hunter." Apparently, he sucks. You win a GT, you suck.
yeah, I don't even know who Will is. It's probably just some scrub that like I don't know if he's ever beaten me. Just some no-name
Well,
scrub.
anybody in their mom's basement typing in all caps on the internet, you know.
Yeah, just yelling. Just some guy in Reddit. He just lives in Reddit.
Yeah. Argo's saying when it came out, he thought of putting in a Wolf Touch and Iron Priest with Wolfen and a Murder Fang and a Storm Raven. That would be funny. Like an all Wolfen Storm Raven. You drop out 5 Wolfen, Murder Fang. Just send them with the character.
I mean, funny enough, that Storm Raven, the Storm Raven, you know, can move 20 and charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever charge a Storm Raven like 20 inches of charge on a turn?
No, I didn't do it, but I threatened it a few times. It's not a bad idea to move and shoot something and then just tag something.
I can tank chuck, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
T10.
fine.
It's in hover mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think in hover mode he's just regular flying tank, I think.
You didn't ever put it into aircraft mode, did you?
You know, I had 2 opponents that they were asking me because they were really afraid if I was because they didn't have any way to, like the orc player was like, if you put it in aircraft mode, it's like, I know you can't shoot, you have no way to interact with it. I'm not smart enough to play aircraft.
Because can the guys still get in and out of it if it's an aircraft? I have no clue.
They can, yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Huh.
Because it's like the Imperial Guard aircraft, whatever it's called, I don't know. But I assume they can, yes. It's just the same, like you can't have it turn 1. So like it has to come from deep strike or whatever, reserves.
Yeah, it's so big it has to touch your board edge when you bring it in. So if you like rapid ingress it and then it doesn't like shoot when it comes in. So it's not like shooting until bottom 2 or top of 3 at the latest. So it just is it's a really weird way to play the model.
I don't like it. But you know, the 20-inch moving and shooting and getting angles was a lot of fun, and getting in rapid fire range for all the Vulture guns. Twin link. Twin linked on that craft. It's insane.
Yeah.
That
is another thing. You're like, hey, I have a big shooting piece in this Storm Raven, and they're like, okay, I've played against big shooting pieces, and then you're like, it moves 20 inches and flies, and they're like, oh, wait a second, now my scouts behind this wall are no longer safe, and my combat lieutenant, and like it just like throws off the math on all your screening and all your angles.
Mm-hmm. And what's great is there's a game or two that like once I put it where I want it to be, I knew it was going to take for them to kill it. I was really okay with it because then I'm just guys get out right where I want them to be, and you know it's just kind of like that sacrificial lamb that I knew I was going to do that and kind of goad them out to shoot it, and I was okay with it. It done its job.
Yeah.
At that time. Now Murder Fang and Head Takers are charging you like nothing.
Man, Murder Fang out of a Storm Raven. That's insane.
Indeed. What I see Argo said Iron Priest get rerolls of wounds. Yeah, the Argo is fun. The Iron Priests are fun. When I do Iron Wolves, which I've still
They're
done.
really fun, man.
Like it catches you off guard, like it's a Thunderhammer reroll wounds. Like, oh yeah, it's not bad.
You put 3 or 4 or 3 damage wounds on almost anything, and you're like, what? This is a little 50, 60 point model?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes people would charge my rep X's, and I'm like, I'll heroic with the Iron Priest.
Yeah.
Why not?
Look around and find out, you know?
Yeah, you touched me. I still think I have done Iron Wolves. Iron Wolves is still pretty good.
I had fun playing it. It has some pretty glaring weaknesses, but it is really fun. And Iron Priest, even in combat, they roll 1 hit roll, they roll 4 rolls to wound. So it's like They love that. They shoot. They have a 3 damage gun. They reroll to wound. It's like, yeah, they're great.
Indeed.
Yeah. William said, "Here's to the best Space Wolf player." I just had a thought, Aiden. We got to get Hunter, Forrest, Olivier. We got to get all the Space Wolf players and do a tournament for them to win Crown of.
All of the Space Wolf tournament for who the best Space Wolf player is.
Yeah, we got like the top 16 Space Wolf players. We got to get them all together into the year.
Oh my God! Who is the Alpha Wolf?
Who's the Great Wolf? I get the title of Great Wolf for the year.
The great. That would be so cool. We could have like a belt, like a fur belt, like pelt or something. You can hand out.
No fur, man. We get enough jokes about fur and fur.
That's true.
No, I've seen they make online championship belts for like fantasy football leagues, like something like that, like a wrestling championship belt.
We can do the Space Wolf GT, invitational only.
Yeah.
Must bring wolves. That would be
the FWC Fenris World Champion on the belt.
I do have a shirt, like an NWO shirt, New Wolf Order.
I have one that says straight out of Fenris. I got a straight out of Fenris.
Yeah. I bet Joe from War Games Live would stream that event.
He would, man. He would be in it because he's a wolf player. He'd be one of the players invited.
Yeah. I think look at what a great idea spawned from just bullshitting on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we should do it. And
absolutely, everybody. We'll reach out to everybody. Like I know some of the guys are like in Europe, like Olivier and them, but maybe even just see if we can get all the American guys together for a weekend or something and do something cool.
That would be fun. I think we should do it. Let's put it
absolutely.
On yeah, Space Wolf only tournament. Imagine the win rate or the meta Monday. Be like Space Wolves win a GT.
We'll do it like
there's only Space Wolves.
We'll do it like the sports league do. Whoever's like the lowest ranked player gets to draft first, and we draft attachments. So
oh my God!
So no, Stormlight is already taken. You got to play
Librarius Conclave, and you're like, shit.
Champions of Fenris.
I
would take that first. So
exactly, #1 draft pick, Champions of Fenris.
Champions of Fenris.
Well, because then if everybody's playing wolves, that's a whole different. What's good in the mirror, like. You're not looking for the meta, so that's a whole different skew build to what everybody came up with.
All of a sudden, those Terminators with 2 OC are looking real juicy because the Thunderwolves can't kill them,
I think if you did the Space Wolf GT, if you will, and you could do Codex. You can only do
only Sagas, Hunters.
Yeah, only Sagas. I think that's fair.
Sagas or Fenris. Yeah, Gratmus. We'll see if they give us something else before the end of the year. But yeah,
that may be the funnest GT.
That would be
also maybe the funnest one. No Eldar players? Yeah, get them out of here.
No.
Nerds.
Get them out of here.
Nerds. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Aiden, as always. And we will catch everybody next time.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for watching Almost Functional Gaming. We appreciate the support of all followers of Russ and the Allfather. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out our merch store and Almost Functional Score Tracker on Amazon. Everything helps support the growth of this channel, and we appreciate it.